Shalom, everybody. This is Universal Truth of Mankind. I'm Dave, your host, and this is Future Forecast. Haven't done one in a few days. I don't try to do these every day, just as I think of things. Um, I wanted to talk about the medical care, Medicare, medical care type stuff. Not Medicare, but medical care. Um, I know, like for myself. For many years, I felt I had to go to the doctor for checkups and everything else, yearly checkup. And it was like if God forbid you didn't do that, you were treated like somebody who was, um, you know, insane. I guess is the best way to put it. And I really resented that because when I grew up, I only went to the doctor when I felt sick or if there was an issue. I didn't go to the doctor for checkups. Um, But now, like these doctors have become like demigods, even in their own minds, that you need to be with them, every 6 months, every year for checkups. And they try to really create an emotional situation if you don't do that. I've seen this take place way back when the HMOs started. And as the medical insurance started to change and progress ever since the Clintons, becoming more and more of a necessity of life versus as needed. So as this occurred, I started becoming more and more homeopathic in my approach of healing myself. Now, I still went to the doctor, don't get me wrong. If there was a real issue, I went to the doctor. I took care of things. If I needed penicillin, I went to the doctor. If I had a bad congestion, I went to the doctor and all that type of stuff. But they never cured or solved the problem. They only postponed the symptoms. And it's the symptoms that they were dealing with and nothing else. Eventually, this created quite a um, annoyance on my part because well, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but I want to share a little bit of research that I've been able to accumulate since then. There's a great book out there that I just started reading. It was recommended to me by a energetic specialist, holistic doctor, um, holistic, whatever you want to call him, specialist. That I told her that I wanted to get more interested in this and maybe even go for my certification in it. So she turned me onto this book, and it's called Healthy Healing by Laura Page. It's $35. Look at the size of this book. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, the amount of information that's in here. I've only gotten page, what, 23 in this thing. It's just been so, it's just chock full of information. I really admire people who can put together something like this. Very, very good book. And even she's saying, and she is she's a PhD, a doctor, Linda Page. She's also traditional naturopaths. And she was stating some statistics that I thought was very interesting. Roughly at least 50% of the doctors that are out there do go to naturopath doctors to help them heal the issues. In other words, they don't even trust their own medical profession. I talked to a lot of nurses. I even talked to doctors, and there's a lot of people out there that don't trust the system. They don't trust the insurance companies. They don't trust the pharmaceutical products. They don't trust the established the hospitals and so on and so forth. And I find that quite fascinating. And they tell me why. So it only verifies that my objective here is to heal myself is the way to go. I do take the natural paths, like say if there's certain supplements I need to take. Let's say I'm deficient in a vitamin. I'll take the vitamin rather than going to the doctor for a prescription. I muscle test myself things. Muscle testing, that's where you ask your body can, you can talk to your body, ask it questions, and you give it a binary thing, question answer such, in other words, yes or no. And your body will give you a yes or no response. What you have to do is find out how your body responds to you when you do a yes or when you do a no. How, what kind of a twitch, what kind of a movement, and that becomes your body, your signal for a yes or a no. And all you do is you find out which one it is, and then you can ask it questions. And I do that. I also meditate, and I found that the best way to heal myself is to find out what my ailment is. Try to find some supplements I need, so at least I'm taking care of the bodily side. And then I go through my meditations, and you go to Meditation 101. I use my meditative practice to do a top-down approach, because a lot of times diseases start here. In fact, I found that only 4% of diseases are environmental. Only 4%. Where's the other 96% coming from? Well, they come from here. So when someone comes to you and say, "Oh, that's genetic," that may not be as true as it sounds. There may be a whole host of other factors that's making that happen to make people think it is. Because what happens is we, as creatures of habit, we pick up the habit of our ancestors, such as what we eat, how we eat, when we eat. And we end up replicating their patterns of healthy or non-healthy practices that make things appear to be genetic, but are not. Genetic disposition simply means that you have a capability of that particular issue or that benefit. But usually the trigger to make those things happen or not happen is a habit that you picked up from your parents or your grandparents or so forth. So we have to understand that we have to start up here and changing our lifestyle, changing our approach to things, changing our gratitude towards things, all of that type of stuff. Our mental, are we happy about something? Are we mad about something? Do we have an emotional reaction to something? Do we not eat things in the wrong way, the wrong orders, and so on and so forth? And as a result, we end up creating a situation where these um, inherited diseases, will start up here, but it's triggered by what we do here, is where I'm going with this. So I've been changing a lot of my thinking on things, and I'm finding a lot of my ailments are going away. So yeah, I got to fix it from the bottom up, because remember I say soul, mind, body. There are times when we do have to fix things from the bottom up, and at the same time, we had to fix the problems from the top down. And so that's been my approach. So where I'm going with this is, if we want a healthy future, we had to bring everything to bear. We have to bring our soul. We have to bring our mind. We have to bring our body all together. We have to make them one. We literally have to live at all three levels at the same time, be conscious of those three levels. I do it when I meditate. I have no problem being aware of my soul level, my mind level, metaphysical level, and my body level, my physical level. I have no problems gluing those three together and working with them as a single cohesive unit. And this really makes an impact upon our health. The last 2.5 years, my health has reversed so much. I was slowly, well, I shouldn't say slowly. Over time, I was little by little accelerating more and more and more downwards to the point where I was just giving up. And then when I realized, I said to myself, I'm going to say, I'll be honest. I said to myself, don't let the bastards win. And that's when I started crawling out of my pit that I was in, started crawling myself out of it. And I started perfecting my meditations. In other words, I stopped relying on what other people told me how to meditate. I stopped relying on other people telling me how to medicate. I stopped relying on other people that told me how to think. And I decided, well, it's up to me. I'm the one responsible for myself. I'm my own guinea pig. I had to experiment. So I started experimenting, developed my own methods and styles, and holy mackerel, things have changed for the better in a very, very big way. People all around, my children, my friends, they've noticed a huge difference in me. And they're like, they're confused. Like, how did you do this? My kids almost like, oh, you must be a shaman. You know these things. How do you do? Well, through experience. So where am I at with this video? We have to take matters in our own hands. We have to take the bull by the horns, especially in a medical field, and start caring for ourselves. They don't care if we survive. They make commissions off of the drugs they give us. What do you think they're going to give us? The free medication, a medication that works, or a medication that they get a commission off and that they can keep you hooked on for the rest of your life to make commission off of. They are snake oil salesmen out there. They're treating a symptom and not the cause. And there's a lot of money in that. So they don't come up with cures anymore. They haven't come up with cures in years. They only give you a product that puts a band-aid on the situation, perpetuates the disease, but makes you more comfortable. So you do nothing about the disease, which will eventually bite you in the butt and kill you. So we have to take matters in our own hands and say no more. And this is the time, this is the opportunity for us to do this. All right, take care, everybody. Shalom, shalom.